Welcome back, movie lovers. Thank you for coming to another installment of Cinematic Realms. I'm your host, John Webster, and with me, as usual, is my co host and fellow cinephile, Amy Blackfire. And today we are joined by two very special guests coming to the stream for the very first time. Right below here is Bone Daddy Triple, or Lady Triple,
Yes.
and my good friend and the brother I never had, Stephen Stark. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Great, reliving my childhood today, so it's been fun.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas, which actually it's funny, Christina, because you were just bringing up before we went live about how you don't consider this a Halloween movie.
It is absolutely not it is a day after Halloween movie.
I've been
That is the earliest you can ever watch this.
I've been having this argument back and forth with friends in our Slack group, and I'll admit I find it perfectly acceptable for it to be considered an in-between movie, but I also do feel it is a Halloween movie, I have to admit, because I do watch it typically at Halloween, so I apologize in advance.
Okay, so the movie starts out and they're like, Halloween's over! Yay, Halloween's over! Let's give out awards for Halloween. The most blood sucked in a single night goes to the vampire. Like, it's after, it is clearly, I would say that this would be a hill that I would die on, but it's like, I have other hills I could, die on. Like, this is, to me, it's not an argument. That's why I put the Christmas lights on my thing. It's like if the Christmas people were like, we're taking the year off, and the Halloween people like had to do it, that would be what this is.
See, I'm going to respectfully disagree and say that it is a Thanksgiving movie.
I'm with Jenna. I watch it on Halloween and on Christmas. Like, ¿por qué no los dos? That's what I'm saying. Or if you want to do Thanksgiving, ¿por qué no los tres? There we go.
I mean, I think I typically watch it on Halloween night, so I feel like, I mean, that kind of works with what Christina's saying, kind of signaling the end of Halloween and getting ready to move into the rest of the holidays. But I don't know. It's a movie that starts off with the song, "This is Halloween, this is Halloween." I just...
But Jack is the master of Halloween. When he's doing his little experiments, he's trying to figure out Christmas and the spirit of Christmas, John. It's about the spirit of Christmas,
Yeah, but in that pursuit, he learns to become thankful for the things that he already has.
Okay, Steven,
Yeah, he does.
That's great.
He does have that. It's that typical home journey where he goes through Christmas and then discovers that his real home is Halloween. But I don't know. I mean, I'm spooky all year round, so it's like it's a permanent thing for me.
Yeah, I could watch this film in April.
Yeah, I really could.
Anyway, so before we get any further, I want to give the chance for our special guests to go ahead and introduce yourselves and talk a bit about what you do in the fandom.
Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I haven't done a live stream in a while, but my real name is Christina. I joined Twitter as Lady X Triple like years ago and found A Song of Madness by Davos Fingers and like kind of actually this was in 2019, so it wasn't that long ago. But I joined that, like started rap battling people about Aswaf characters, and then that came into me like writing folk songs and having fun with all of that, and then going to cons and meeting a lot of great people in person and just kind of like collaborating with people from time to time on things like Steven. And yeah, that's...
Speaking of which, like, you asked me what I do in the fandom. I assume most of you already know me. John's my co-host over there on Here Be Dragons, but so that's what I do. But I have had the extreme privilege to have Lady Triple on my channel for a little thing I do called I Know That Nerd, which I just posted. John, I co-opted your posting powers, but I just posted it in the chat. The interview that I did with Lady Triple, which was fantastic, a lot of fun. But yeah, Steven Stark, I talk about nerdy shit.
And as long as we're going, Amy, you just recently joined this channel as a co-host, but you have a lot of stuff going on. So go ahead and tell the people.
Yeah, I have a blog and a channel of my own where I read my essays, and lately I've been having people on to talk about them. So I've had Crowfood's daughter and Archmaester Emma on, and I just had Load the Links on. They are amazing, do a lot of great queer analysis. I'm going to post that soon. We were actually talking about his Dark Materials, so I'm kind of branching out from A Song of Ice and Fire. I'm going to start doing some Avatar: The Last Airbender content coming in 2021 because I have so much time as a PhD student who also teaches. So yeah, Christina, I love it. Yeah, I'm totally gonna DM you because you've opened up the floodgates. Steven is gonna be on my channel to talk about Avatar. So yes, Christina, I'm gonna talk about it multiple times. So I'd love to have you on together or separately, whatever you want to do. Anyways, I'll DM you later about that. But yeah, I specifically look at non-Western symbolism in the series. So whereas a lot of people talk about symbolism, they're usually looking at, Shakespeare and kind of Western mythology. I look at Eastern mythology, specifically China and Japan. So I'm kind of doing something a little different. But I also really have enjoyed having people on and doing collaborations. And so, yeah, check out my channel, Amy Blackfire. All links are in the description. Sub, like, comment, do all the YouTube things.
And that's not the only thing. You decided that you had some free time.
Yes. Also, I thought, you know what? I'm a co-host, have my own channel, and I'm having people on. And like I said, PhD student who's also a TA. Why don't I then become someone else's co-host for a show? Nessie from The Unspun Yarn has gotten a bout of inspiration from my patriarchy drinking game. And we're going to have, I said it. So cheers. So we're going to have bleep the word that I won't say again, so you guys have to drink again. But yeah, we are going to do some feminist analysis, and December 2nd is going to be our first episode. We're going to have Jolie, aka All Hail the Night's Queen, on, and we're going to talk about the first female VP, Kamala Harris. So we are going to have a great time talking about that. And we think the second episode is probably going to be about transphobia and turfism. So that'll also be fun. We're thinking about we're going to have Load the Links on for that. So.
Oh my god, that's a lot.
Yeah, my students are so lucky to have me because I'm laser focused on them. I'm not at all distracted by all of the fandom stuff that I do. So
you also play in my D&D game.
I also play in Steven's Dungeons and Dragons game. I am a little gnome who is very sassy and flirty. So that's pretty much me as a gnome.
And to be clear, that takes priority over everything else. So
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but confused at it.
Okay, so we'll go back on to talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm just interested, like, when did you guys all first see this film?
Jeez, it's hard for me to say even. Pretty soon after it came out on VHS, I would imagine.
Yeah, I was going to say probably when I started having memories, which was in psychology, that's like 4 years old. So that would be 94 for me. So like, I remember this movie.
Jesus Christ.
My whole childhood was like, I was really scared of it. I was really terrified by a lot of things where now I'm like, okay, I guess I shouldn't have been that scared, but it's great watching it again and seeing, like, it's not as scary as I thought it was when I was 4.
Amy?
Yeah, I was born in 93, so I was a little baby when this came out. But I watched it in after school. In elementary school, and it scared the crap out of me too, Christina. I watched it and I was like, I'm never watching that again. I'm so scared. And I didn't even like it the first time I watched it. And then I watched it a couple more times with some friends who were really into it, and I remember Jenna in the chat, girl, I'm giving you a shout out. We went to Hot Topic in middle school, and she was always buying Jack the Skeleton merch.
Yes.
So Jenna also helped me change my mind about how amazing this movie is. And so I started liking it around middle school, and now it's one of my favorite movies, especially one of my favorite Tim Burtons for sure.
I was gonna say, like, being a Hot Topic girl is probably like if you stan this movie, there's a 99% chance you were a Hot Topic girl.
Where do you think I bought this?
This was actually Target. I couldn't believe it.
Nice. Yeah, Jenna and I had regular Hot Topic dates in high school, middle school, high school, and in college. If I'm being honest, like we never stopped.
Yeah, no, I had the poster on my wall in middle school, and I remember one time it fell down, and my mom put it back up upside down, and I was like, why would you do that? And I actually left it like that for years. So I had, like, not only did I have a Nightmare Before Christmas poster in my bedroom as a kid, it was upside down.
Oh my God, you're
edgy.
So yeah, I was about to say so edgy.
Yeah, watch out.
And Jenna, I hate that you can still fit into all of the stuff that you bought at Hot Topic in high school, but I love you anyway.
I just wanted to say hello. We have Jinx Leah in the house.
Hey, Jinx.
Hey, Jinx. Nice to see you again.
Definitely follow her on Instagram and Twitter. She is super sexy. That's all I have to say. She's also an amazing person, so.
Oh, I miss Jinx.
And
some good times at Con of Thrones, that's all I'll say.
And I will say that as far as my first viewing of the film, I said the other day when we were all chatting that I only saw the film when it was, for the first time when it was out on a release for the 3D version in theaters, maybe about 10, 15 years ago. But it's actually possible I may have seen it when I was younger, because I specifically remember being freaked out by Oogie Boogie.
Ugh, yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I might have just blocked out the experience of seeing the movie as a little kid, but I know that I went to go see it in the theaters when it was out in 3D, and I just fell in love with the film. And it's pretty much been a classic in my house ever since. So.
Oh dear God! I used to I would fast forward the Oogie Boogie Man every single time I watched it growing up. Like, just always fast forward it. So watching it today, I was like, wow, I actually don't know the song as well because I have been fast forwarding it my whole life. But oh, what a creeper! But I love it. I mean, just the art of all of these films, like the Tim Burton style, is just incredible. I don't know. I love
how the kind of glow in the dark Oogie Boogie kind of aesthetic was, it freaked me out. I also quickly grabbed the remote and fast forwarded my VHS when I was a kid for the Oogie Boogie song.
Yeah.
So
you're all talking about when I was a kid. I was almost old enough to drink when this movie came out. So I don't remember the first time I saw it. I don't have a clear memory of that. But I do know that I loved it immediately. I like musicals in general, and, I like the Halloween theme, and, it's my favorite holiday. So this movie was kind of made for me anyway. It's creepy and spooky and weird and silly. So it was right up my alley.
Yeah, what was interesting about the movie that I learned was so Disney, right? It's a Disney movie, but Michael Eisner, who was the CEO of Disney at the time, saw this and was like, this is too weird, this is too scary, we cannot market it under Disney, so they put it under their other brand, Touchstone. And I love how now it's so different, because I live in Orlando, so it's I go on the Snapchat map at and do the parks or whatever, and it's just seeing at the Disney parks now how they've just completely embraced it because it's become a cult classic, when it's no, you weren't really standing behind this that much at the time of the release. But yeah, it's kind of funny to see.
Yeah, and now if you watch it on, either Blu-ray or Disney Plus, it's got the full Disney logo in front of the movie, and of course they didn't want anything to do with it back then. So
They're claiming it now, though.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess we can just dive right in talking about the music right off the bat. Although there is one bit of trivia for the opening narration that I wanted to say. The originally, and you can hear this on the soundtrack, they had Patrick Stewart doing the voiceover for the narration, and they ended up replacing it at some point. I believe the actor who reads it now is the same voice actor who does Santa Claus. And so it's interesting that they made that change, because now we think, why wouldn't you have Patrick Stewart read like everything? But for whatever reason, I think it was Tim Burton who made that choice. But anyway, but right after that, it launches into the song "This Is Halloween," and just like, I can't help it, I have like a big stupid grin on my face every time I start this movie and the music starts.
So we did a watch party last night. John, Amy was there, and several other people from our Slack group were there. And I think the first thing I said, the music starts, and I'm like, my toes are already tapping.
In this town we call home. Like, oh gosh, yeah. And it's a great way. I love how the music, it's so catchy, it's so well done the whole time. Like, there's not, I mean, they put a lot of exposition into the music, and it just flows effortlessly. Like, how many characters did they introduce in that first number? And it all just worked. All of the character designs too, just the creepy, like, I mean, if I had to make, I consider myself a spooky person, but like, I couldn't even come up with just all these ideas and like how they created this atmosphere of Halloween, because it was dark, it was creepy, it wasn't cheesy. They had just amazing, like, creepy looking characters, like the guy with the face coming off, and it's like, it's horrifying and beautiful, and I love it.
Doctors. Yeah, I mean, the clown with the tearaway face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there really is some fantastic character design. The zombie family and the gloopy brown guy. Like, I don't even want to know what he's made out of. Like,
so I found out that during the animation, to get him melting, they actually used a hairdryer every scene they animated. So like he was literally melting.
Wow.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and actually I have a note here about the song, because I did listen to the audio commentary for the film, so I could have a couple little facts for you guys. It's funny that we've been talking about watching this in between Halloween and Christmas, and Tim Burton said he was really kind of intrigued by that phenomenon that happens as soon as you get done with Halloween. All of a sudden everything starts to become about Christmas, and there's such a wide kind of difference between the two holidays. It always seemed weird to him to watch that transition, and he wanted to kind of explore that on film. And, it is really kind of summed up by, I remember when I do have memories of seeing the original trailer for the film, and I think the trailer starts off with those scenes later in the film when they're all making the Halloween presents. And there's just something really creepily off about that. Like, they're trying to be in the holiday spirit and being all Christmassy, but it's just creepy and disturbing.
They just don't get it. It's so funny. It's like, it's a silly thing. And actually, yeah, I read that too, where Tim Burton, he came up with, so it was originally a poem that he wrote, but he came up with the idea because he was like in a mall or a store, and it was after Halloween, and they were switching to Christmas decorations, and like he saw, the skeletons next to the Christmas trees, and like that sparked the idea of the movie, like this transition between the holidays and like culturally how we kind of transition from like scary to holiday cheer, blah blah blah. And it's an interesting thing. I mean, there's a whole I think it's a whole reflection too, just like on our culture and like how we celebrate holidays, because I was talking with my husband about well, actually I did that poll on Twitter about like the holiday doors, which I thought was really cool, how they do the holiday doors. And there's been so much like, what other door would you go into in this forest of doors? And one, I never knew that there was a 4th of July door, which never knew that.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, wait, what? Really? That just seems weird to me.
I voted for the Thanksgiving door on your poll, Christina, because of the food.
I didn't put the 4th of July door. Well, one, because there wasn't room on the Twitter poll. Two, because you don't really see it in the movie, but it is in the movie. And then also because I know what the 4th of July door is. You go in and Hamilton starts.
Nice.
That was my explanation for it.
Definitely.
So that one's already been done. I think let me check the winner actually, because I think it was Valentine's Day.
I was surprised by that. Is it because people like chocolate? I don't understand.
Probably because it's like the safest, I would imagine. Like, what could not go wrong? But actually I found out, so they had talked about doing a sequel, or I don't know, they had talked eventually about doing a sequel, and Tim Burton actually put it down, like he said, I want this to be, and I definitely respect this decision, where it's like I don't want to ruin it, but it's rumored that the sequel was going to be St. Patrick's Day, which was the second winner.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, like Anna was saying in the chat, it was only holidays that have been appropriated by specifically white American culture. Like, where's the Chinese, Lunar New Year? I want, dumplings.
Yeah, it's a very American.
I want mooncakes.
Yeah. And I mean, I wasn't sure if I wanted to get into it, but it's kind of an overarching theme of the movie of like appropriation.
Oh yeah,
especially with like Sandy Claus, like he's not even getting the name right, and he comes across as this like, I'm so well intentioned and optimistic, and I'm going to take over your holiday, and it's a disaster, which is kind of a larger commentary.
Yeah, and he has that line about, I've read all the books, right? But it's it's this thing of, I can learn, intellectually about another, culture, but not really experience and understand the spirit behind it.
And then in my frustration, once I decide that I still don't quite get it, I'm just going to take the whole thing over, and that'll
And I won't listen to the woman telling me this is a terrible idea.
Oh my god. Yes. During the watch party, we were drinking so many times because I was like, I'm gonna say it, guys. Freaking patriarchy, listen to Sally.
Yeah, every time someone doesn't listen to Sally, drink. Yeah. Oh god.
Like, she knows what's up when he goes flying off, and I know we're jumping way ahead in the story, but when he goes flying off, she's like, no, Jack, no, and it's like, yes, Sally knows what she's talking about. Listen to the woman. But, he's got that, the regular confidence of a man being like, I know what I'm doing. And it's like, no, Sally knows what she's doing. Come on.
Silly little stitched up girl. Yeah. I know.
I think it's really kind of amazing, and maybe this is due just to the way Jack is written and also how he's played. The fact that he comes away still such a sort of charming, likable character in spite of
Despite being a mediocre white man who's appropriating someone else's culture.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I was wondering if that. I know I could not step away from that, but also, yeah, I would describe Jack as, I guess, hopeful, optimistic, naive.
Yeah,
And-
He's definitely an idealist.
Yeah. And
yeah.
he still wanted to make things right, I guess, at the end, but...
Well, he's also the ultimate self-motivator as well, which I think just kind of hilariously we still root for him, but it's like he's ruined everything by the end of the film, and he goes from, and now I'm really jumping ahead, but he goes from just being completely sort of miserable and self-loathing to a second later being like, well, I did my best.
Yes. Yeah, whereas women have imposter syndrome where we did do a really good job and we're like, I don't belong here. Like me throughout all of my graduate student career, like I'll be like, oh, but the paper could have been better. But you're right, John, he really pumps himself up in the same song that he's tearing himself down. And what's funny is we root for him, and then when he fixes the problems that he created, we're like, yay! And it's like, no, none of this would have happened if he wouldn't have been butthole.
If you just listen to Sally.
If you just
but
listen to
then again, yeah, and then at the end, though, like, I think he comes out of it... Okay, he comes out of it at the end, like, even though he messed it all up, all of that took him to, like, made him a better person and changed him, and, like, realized, he'll be a better pumpkin king from now on, now that he knows to stay in his lane. So it's that classic arc of, like, the character longs for something else, they go out and find it, and then they realize that they're happy back where they are, right? That's a common, like, trope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it came full circle.
And I do think that another kind of, I guess for lack of a better term, lesson of the movie is to to sort of appreciate what you have, but also the thing that makes those things great are sort of sharing it with those you love and those who are important to you. And I think it's the fact that he learns to kind of open his eyes to both his feelings for Sally and her feelings for him that's going to allow him to maybe appreciate what he has and all that stuff moving forward, as opposed to trying to find it somewhere else by, again, moving out of his lane, so to speak. But now that we've jumped all the way to the end of the movie.
Well, it's the whole arc, I suppose.
Oh, come on. Like, the big surprise that we're jumping all over the place.
Hey,
it's not just me.
We're very methodical in our analysis here on Joe. We really, we never go off topic or have unnecessary pedantry, nothing like that. So.
I'm sorry, Amy. I just love it how you completely managed to turn Joe off into the unofficial name of this.
Joe is a thing. John Webster film. No one has to. I'm a millennial. We don't have time to say things like John Webster film. No, Joe. We say HBD for Here Be Dragons. I just think that JWF doesn't have the same ring to it, but Joe, I love it.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised you don't call it Hubbard.
Hubbard.
What would you call The Nightmare Before Christmas, if that's a mouthful? I thought of things in my head.
If I say NBC, people are going to think it's the channel. I don't know.
MBX? Like X-Men.
MBX.
X-Tina. Yeah.
Nice.
MBX, yeah. Oh, man. But, like...
I also love how Jack, in the very beginning, they're like, oh my God, Jack, you did so good, bro. Like, high five, great job. This is the scariest Halloween ever. And he's all like, oh my, I'm so bored with my life. And it's one of those, like, it's so lonely at the top kind of cliches.
Yeah, bored with my success.
Yeah. So, like, he's the Pumpkin King. He's the king of all Halloween, and it's not enough, right? So I think that's also...
And actually, because I actually went through and watched it again today, just because it's a very short film, so I figured let's go ahead and pack in as many viewings as possible. But what's interesting is he's in that opening sequence as they're finishing out Halloween. He's really the only character in Halloween Town who's in an actual Halloween costume as we first see him, because he's got, the pumpkin head on there. He's got the whole thing, and he's even riding on a straw horse, which you could say is sort of the Trojan horse of, sort of, which traditionally is hiding, something. And so the fact that we're sort of peeling back layers and seeing that this is a guy who has a lot more sort of going on inside. He's not happy with his title, with his, what he, does year in, year out. And of course, nobody else in the town sees it. They think, why wouldn't you be happy?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, with all of these towns, too, and maybe it's just more of, like, this universe, but I'm like, where are they haunting? Is it the same area that, you know what I mean? Like, where are these, like, bloods to be sucked and...
Same place he was delivering Christmas presents.
Is it the same thing?
He, like, came out of, in the beginning, he comes out of this kind of, like, pool thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's all like, yeah, I think that's, like, the portal into our world kind of thing.
And I will say this, too. One of the things that... one of the things that kind of struck me, though, John, and you bring up the horse that's made of straw, it made me think of the Wicker Man, and he literally even lights himself on fire, which is also very much like a harvest festival... going into winter time type of thing. There are people in the chat who will know more about it than I do, but like it just made me think of the Wicker Man being lit on fire.
Yeah.
Oh. See, I'm smart too.
Well, yeah, it's like one of those things where I guess in the end, and I guess I'm still bringing up the end, but in the end, like, are they saying it's good that these towns have the other holidays? And because it was like at the end they were sort of embracing Christmas, but Santa Claus was coming to them. So it's like, are you gonna go to Christmas Town on Halloween and go and like suck all their blood too? Is this how, like, the American calendar, is this supposed to be, like, some kind of origin for the American calendar in, like, an alternate universe?
It's like, hey, guys, you gave us, snow and Christmas last year. We're here to return the favor. And they're like, that's okay.
No, we're good. No, leave your guillotines in Halloween Town. We're good. Yeah, no. I actually so Zero is my favorite character. That's why I changed the name to Zero Fire out of the Black Fire. And I think I love just kind of the minor characters that are around Jack too, like the the mayor who like flips his head is hilarious. Yeah,
the two-faced politician.
Yeah, he's literally such a caricature, right? He's this like literally, like you said, Stephen, a two-faced politician, and he has that line that we were laughing at really hard when we were doing the watch party, which is the Jack, I can't make any decisions by myself. I'm just an elected official, a public official. It's just like, wow, this is very apt, especially now.
Yeah. Or when he's going around like, Jack was blown to smithereens, and it's like, well, you're calling it a little soon, aren't you? Calling the results a little soon.
And just the fact, like, we can kind of see why Jack's tired of Halloween, because it's, the morning right after, and he's like, Jack, I'm here to discuss the plans for next Halloween. It's just like, give me a little space, man.
like, yo, I'm already pro at this. Like, what else is there that I could do? And
Yeah,
then he goes,
we don't
Spirit
see him getting
Quest.
excited about things until he goes to Christmas Town, right? Like, he's so bored with everything until the "what's this?" right part, where everything is new and exciting. And I think it's the fact that it's so different from Halloween and that it's new gets Jack really excited. And that's the only time where we see him really get invested in things. Like, and whenever he's doing his little Christmas experiment, Sally is like, here's this really kind of disgusting looking lunch romantic picnic thing. And he's like, I have no time for romance. You know, like nothing gets him excited except for something different other than Halloween, which is Christmas.
Well, it's like, what did I say in the chat? I was like, Jack, forget Christmas. Pay attention to the cute girl who's trying to flirt with you, for God's sake. But speaking of, what's this?
Yeah.
Do we have somebody who's wanting to do an arrangement?
Dear God, I hope you're not talking about me.
I am not.
oh gosh, let me see. So earlier today, my husband and I, like, we have little puppies that we love so much, but they are like, well, they're puppies. Well, one of them, she's a year old. The other one, he's like 6 months, Maya and Zuko, and like they drive us crazy. So they've kind of been our biggest like filk inspiration. So of course we're like making up songs to the whole thing, and yeah, we did do a rearrangement of What's This about our dogs. If people would want to hear, but let me see if he's around. But yeah, like, what's your favorite song from this? If you had to pick one.
Yeah, it probably is What's This? And which is funny because I go on and on about how I'm insisting that it's a Halloween movie, but What's This is like the most classically Christmas. But yeah, that probably is my favorite one. What about you guys?
I like when Sally sings, particularly when she has that song saying, "Will we ever be together?" Especially when I really got into this movie, it was in middle school, and I was starting to have crushes on guys and gals. And so I constantly had this thing of like, will we ever be together? Kind of thing.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I related to that hardcore. And it's also Sally is the only one that I think really deserves our pity more so than Jack. A lot of the pity that he earns is because of his own mistakes. And Sally really is a victim and hasn't, put herself in any of these positions to be victimized. And so you really feel for her, the way that the doctor controls her and how she tries so hard to escape but can never seem to fully, pull away.
Yeah, and she was always doing like this, like, he loves me not, like with
the flower.
With the flower, just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call her desperate, but it was like, poor girl, she's just pining over him. But yeah, here. There he is. It's my bone daddy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So they said hi. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I can't.
It's on my mic. But yeah, do you want to do?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear him?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is Brian, right?
Brian, yes, this is Brian.
Co-author of
He says
the
the
Westeros
skeleton shirt.
musical.
Yeah, he is from Westeros. Here, wait, if you want to
Oh. Hello.
introduce yourself.
Hi.
Hi,
Hey, I'm
Brian.
Brian. I am Christina's husband, and yeah, we
did a remix of What's This about our dogs.
Amy, drop a
And
beat.
we'll show our dogs later.
yeah, it's pandemic inspired.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah.
We'll just do it a cappella.
These pups, they're driving us insane. Oh, pups, they smash a window pane. Dear God, they're wrestling and humping. Now they're bumping and they broke some glass again. These pups,
these pups, they're tearing up our home. These pups, someone throw us a bone.
These pups, their energy is boundless ever since the day we found them at the pound, and now the jumps and barks are countless. Oh, these pups! These pups!
Then, wait, how do we do it? Then
Suddenly they're well behaved.
Oh, and then suddenly they're well behaved when begging for a treat. These cuddly balls of chaos make our family more complete.
And Maya's catching frisbees while Zuko's learn to roll. And both of us can't help but love these precious furry souls.
But shush, these pups, I dare not make a sound. They'll hear and follow me around. I fear I'll never know of moments peace and quiet till I'm 6 feet in the ground. These pups! So, yes.
So that.
Yay!
Thanks.
Yes.
This
Our
just
poor dog.
Thank
became,
you.
this
Thank
just,
you, Brian, for joining us.
Thank
just
you.
became the
Yeah, wait,
best
do you want to send in
episode.
a pup? We'll send in one of our, we call them our little
That was
monsters.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
there they are.
doggies.
They're coming. Hello. I'm sorry. I was so mean. They're so cute.
Is that a,
Is that Zuko?
Yeah, this is Zuko and Maya.
Oh,
Hi.
They're our little
Oh my God, they're
terrors.
so cute.
All right.
I want to boop their snoots.
Look, I know he could do like a Zero cosplay.
He totally could.
He's like woo, 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 woo. Okay, bye.
Come on, Zuko.
Bye. Toodaloo. All right.
Yay, that was so great. Thank you for bringing hubby on and singing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was like, so we kind of like, well, I don't know, that's just what we do, because it's like kind of why we got married, because we,
that
Right
was,
songs. I love
because
it.
that's what we do, we just make up songs about our dogs all day, so,
Aw.
yeah, that was our Nightmare Before Christmas inspired, like, venting about being puppy owners. We love our baby so much, but...
God, so cute.
okay. Well, we're clearly not going to get any better than that.
Yeah,
So,
we can't
bye,
top that,
everyone.
so thanks for joining us. Follow us on all social media.
yeah, I just could say that was charming AF. This became the best episode of John the Film
Joe
so
was-
far.
Joe,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, we have been so sick of writing a swath music. Like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't. I've done except I did come up with an idea for another one today. I was like, secret faceless man, like about Jack and Hagar, and I was like, wow, that would be really good. But then I don't want to write it, so
That's
there you
fine.
go.
Do it
Go
when,
world.
Do it when you're inspired, but your Jamie Lannister one is probably one of my favorites. Your Jamie Lannister
Oh,
rap.
thank you.
So good.
That was like that was so amateur hour though, but like, oh my god, yeah. So we make up songs all the time. So that was our film. I mean, but that's the whole thing. Like, we watch these movies and we're just like singing about our dogs and like stuff that annoys us in life. But I mean, sorry, not to get off topic, but
What?
yeah, Amy, we definitely want to do some like Avatar stuff. So like, yeah, we will definitely filk for Avatar.
Yes,
Yeah.
please write a song about how emo Zuko is in the first season. My honor. It's my favorite thing ever. I'm
Oh my
sorry.
God,
future
actually-
Amy Blackfire
I know.
content.
I know. I'm sorry. What's this? My pups. They're crazy little dogs. Yeah, they are. I love them.
I love it. I like it though. It kind of has the same energy where, like, for him, it's what's this, and then you kind of run to something, and what is that, you know? But it's like with the dogs, like, oh, what's this? They're getting into that, right? Oh, they're doing that.
So actually, some of the one second, like, of course, my thing is all messed up, but yeah. So our dogs, like, they were wrestling the other week, and they were wrestling in the other room, and all of a sudden we hear crash, and they broke a window. Like, they
Oh my
wrestled.
God.
They wrestled through a window, broke the window, and yeah, that was $185.
So they're also action stars, is what you're saying.
I know, they were not harmed. There was no puppies harmed, so we were fine.
Oh, thank
And
goodness.
It was funny. Like, we laughed about it.
There were
but,
no
yeah.
puppies harmed in the making of the song.
Yeah, seriously. But yes, that was our filk of What's This? Which is probably my favorite song. Oh, I also did hear, I haven't seen it, but I did hear there's an Evanescence cover of Sally's song. And that is a
What?
useless.
God.
I need
Oh,
that
yeah.
in my life right now.
No, and you're not wrong. That song, Sally's song by Amy Lee, is incredible.
Oh,
Like,
I need to hear it.
That's already my favorite song from the film, but like, yeah, you do need to listen to it. It's on my playlist for sure.
Let me think. I mean, gosh, this movie. Well, first off, how do we think the other holidays would have worked? I don't even know. Like, how would you do like a Halloween interpretation of like St. Patty's Day? Would you just like poison everyone's beer or something?
I don't know. You haven't seen that Leprechaun movie?
Oh, like the scary one? Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
There's a whole series of them.
But
See, I will say, I think the interesting way to go about a sequel, though, would have somebody else trying to take over their holiday.
Yeah, appropriate Halloween. Like.
That would be great.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny comes back to get vengeance.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, and I was also thinking, because I made a joke last night when we were getting ready to start watching the movie about how, we're actually going to watch the 15-hour director's cut, guys. And Amy was like, wait, what are you talking about? Which just made my night that you asked me that seriously. But then I got to thinking about when you get to parts like where Lock, Shock, and Barrel are told to return the Easter Bunny, and then they don't come back with Santa Claus until like the day of Christmas. I'm like, there's clearly an extended sequence of this movie where they get involved in a whole sort of international incident when they go to return the Easter Bunny, and they have to explain what the hell they were doing.
Oh my god, I hated those kids growing up. Like, I hated them. It's so funny because it's like when I look at like merch or something, or like celebrating the movie and all of this stuff, I'm like, it's watching it now, I don't have such disdain for the characters as I did growing up, but like, oh my god, I hated those kids. Like, I don't know why, but, well, I mean, I do know why. They're pretty awful, right? But I love their song too. Actually, their song is one of my other favorite songs. Like, Santa Claus, put him in I don't know.
Yeah.
Box?
It's
Do
put him in a
that.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how casual can we like sing about torture and all this stuff? I do love the nuance though of like the writing of this, where it's like, oh, let's talk about these horrible things and like show depictions of torture and just like horrible, awful stuff, but make it quirky and weird enough so that it's tolerable and even celebrated.
Well, it's
Right?
like you listen to that song and you're like, no wonder Disney didn't want anything to do with it. 'Cause
Yeah, they're like, this could go real bad for us, and we're not putting the mouse on this.
Yeah. So I did just drop a link to that Amy Lee version in the chat, and I also put it in our group DM on Twitter for you ladies to find it very easily after the fact.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Amy Lee is an amazing singer and has the best name in the world. So,
Yeah. Anybody named Lee is pretty awesome.
So, one bit of the song is kidnap the Santa Claus, throw him in a box, bury him for 90 years, then see if he talks.
Yes!
But there's another one, though, that I really like. Oh, God, where is...
I find kids creepy in general, though, like in scary movies and stuff. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
no,
I don't like
thank you.
kids either. That's another one for another podcast, right? It's like, no, I just hate kids.
No, I'm just
I mean, I like kids, but I can't eat a whole one.
yeah. I know it's a lot to deal with, right?
Okay, yeah, this is the one that I really like, though. Kidnap the Santa Claus, beat him with a stick, lock him up for 90 years, see what makes him tick.
Beat him with
Oh
a
my
stick.
God.
Beat him with a stick.
Well, that's the whole thing. So with them, actually, their motivations are kind of interesting throughout the movie, because when they kidnap the Easter Bunny, though, they actually took him to Jack, right?
Yeah.
So they took him to Jack, and then they were like, and then Jack was kind of mean to them. He's like, you guys did this wrong, you know, in their faces. And then afterwards they're like, oh, we got Santa Claus. Let's take him to Oogie Boogie Man. Because
they brought him to Jack first too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jack. Yeah, and then
that's
Jack
where
was like,
Jack
"Okay,
needed
great,
to-
put him somewhere."
oh
Like,
yes,
They're like, "Well, he didn't say where."
yeah, I know. They're so devilish. Like,
They're-
well, he was like, take good care of my friends, and then yeah. You're
What do
right.
you think the chances are that they fed the Easter Bunny to Oogie Boogie?
Honestly, pretty good. Those kids are terrible.
I know. They're like,
They're
take good
awful.
care of him, bring him back. I know. It's like, are they really listening?
I also love how they were like forcing him down the chute to go to Oogie Boogie's like lair. And they're like, hey, if he can go down a chimney, he can go down this. They just keep beating his butt to like push him down. That's probably my favorite like funny part of the movie because it's just like, come on. And it did when I was a kid, and I did always find it weird. It's like if he's fat, then how is he getting anywhere? It's like, wouldn't he like be really exhausted going all over America, you know, with presents and finding ways into my house?
And I I have to say, and this was another thing where when Tim Burton talked about, they tried to make the Santa feel a little off, even though he's sort of the classical image of the Santa Claus, but his feet and his hands are like ridiculously small. So there's just something that's not quite right about this depiction.
I will say though, Santa in this movie does kind of speak for the audience a little bit because he's like, you should listen to Sally talking like the girl, right? And it's like, thank you this whole time.
Only what
Yeah.
makes any sense in this insane asylum.
No, when that happened today, I was like, yes, Santa the feminist. Thank you. Like, thank you. We need one here.
You know, Mrs. Claus taught him right.
I know, right? I was like, go Santa on that one.
And that was something that I totally forgot about in this watch. I was like, oh yeah, wait, someone did say listen to Sally, because the way I'd remembered it is that no one was listening to Sally or even suggesting to listen to her. So
Well, I was like,
Yeah,
how much
Santa.
talking did they get done? I mean, in that like time, how much did they get to know each other? Because I mean, Oogie Boogie was Oogie Boogieing, which was just like, and his whole setup too, which is so different to me this time around. Like, I mean, I don't know, it's just, I guess, well, no, I saw it last year, but I guess the whole, I love the whole like gambling depiction and how he kind of like does this torturing, but like leaves it up to chance with the dice and, you know, having like the king cards out and like, you know, it looks like a casino, like a torturing casino where he's kind of like separating himself from responsibility almost, like leaving it up to chance. I thought that was interesting on the rewatch.
A
Like,
little bit. He doesn't get the results
Yeah.
he likes. And then he
Yeah.
does.
yeah, doesn't he
yeah,
have that
snake eyes.
I think there's that one where I think it's called roulette, where the ball rolls into squares.
Yeah.
There's also that scene too. So yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting though.
Very
I
casino-themed.
liked the like Tim Burton like crossed by like spooky casino depictions, but like I guess speaking of like Tim Burton with all of his movies, it was really interesting how this one came to be because it was like originally he actually like he worked at Disney, I think like 20 years before this happened, or before Nightmare Before Christmas actually like happened. He worked in Disney and then he left Disney and he went on to make Beetlejuice, Batman, and Edward Scissorhands, and then he had sometime in between this time had written that poem, and he had this idea because it was before Beetlejuice, because actually Jack Skellington shows up. He's in like the Beetlejuice. He's like in the you know, like how they have that like Playtown or whatever. in
Yeah, the little
attic?
model thing.
Yeah,
Also,
so
be
actually,
careful not to say it 3 times, Christina.
I'll say it as much as I want. I actually recently saw the Broadway of that. I went to New York right before the pandemic, and that was amazing.
Oh, that's my second favorite Burton film.
Well, I was gonna say they should totally make they should, like, if they do like a remake, they should do the Broadway, like make it a musical and do the Broadway version of it, because it was just like it was mind-blowing. Either way, off track. But well, there's a whole like Burton verse, right? So Jack Skellington actually is like in this little like model town of Beetlejuice. So like he kind of existed as an idea before Beetlejuice. So I think it was like Tim Burton was trying to get it. He either wanted it to be a book or a holiday special, and then he finally like hooked back up with Disney, and they made the movie and then released it under Touchstone because they were a little freaked out by it. But just really interesting history about all of it. And actually, Tim Burton, he didn't even direct it. He had the other guy. Oh gosh.
Yeah, Henry Selick.
Yes. So his protege. So he like Tim Burton pretty much wrote it. It was like all of his ideas. I think he wrote the script, and then he gave it to Henry to direct. And I think Henry said something like, well, there's a debate of like whose movie is it more, like obviously it's Tim Burton's like mind, but Henry was the one who actually directed it all. And he said something like Tim Burton was only on set like 8 days of it, which you forget, right?
Yeah, I would say it's equally Danny Elfman's movie too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh god, that score was amazing. And he didn't even I think he just had the descriptions of the scenes. He didn't even have like the movie to work with to write that stuff, which I think is incredible.
Yeah, and of course Danny Elfman does the singing voice of Jack, which I think is really cool. But they talked about how this was interesting for him to score because it's a shorter film, and as a musical where there's so many songs, that the score has to kind of transition in between each of the songs and set things up. And I just think that it's really brilliantly done, and it's also very operatic as opposed to a traditional musical where they stop and sing a song. The songs are very much about moving the plot forward, and
yeah, there's a lot of exposition there, which it's hard. Like it's so hard because, gosh, I mean, Brian and I make fun of Randy Newman in Toy Story a lot because like the songs feel really expositional there. It's like he has this whole impression. He's like, I'm Randy Newman and I'm like talking about the story, blah blah, like when you think about movie musicals and tying, it's very difficult to musically have exposition, and I thought this was an excellent example of that, having like those great songs but also having like expositional music.
Well, I think the difference is Randy Newman in Toy Story is not singing in the voice of any characters. He's a narrator singing exposition. And not very well, I might add. The man can write a song, but good God, can he not sing? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about...
I'm so glad I hadn't started sipping my wine yet, because that was hilarious.
I just recently watched the Family Guy episode where they really tear into Randy Newman, and...
Brian's been oh my god, I almost want to get Brian back in here for that. Oh my god, he could do he's been doing the funniest Randy Newman stuff, like... He's been torturing our one friend because we were hanging out with our other friend Michael, and Brian starts making fun of him, like the Family Guy episode, and then Michael got really offended, and that's my husband's thing. Like if someone's offended by something, he will like push that button like real hard. So he just been like, that's what he was doing all day. He was sending like Randy Newman expositional songs to our friend, and and then we started watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, and we're like, wow, this is a great example of expositional music that's actually, executed well.
Well, again, it's delivered in the voice of the characters in the film.
Yes, and it's giving their motivations rather than, you're right, describing what's happening from like an outsider's point of view, which is probably why they did that change of Patrick Stewart, right? In the beginning.
Yeah, it could be.
Right? Just kind of to like, because you're right, like the expositional isn't third person, it's from the characters, and they're in their songs and their transitions, they're describing their feelings and their motivations.
Hi, AJ.
Mwah.
See you tomorrow.
Oh.
Was that a spoiler?
What? Talk
See that?
about Naomi Nagata?
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, we're an hour in, so let's take this time to do the mid-roll and talk about what we have coming up. Next week, right here on John Webster Film, Amy is going to have the day off because I'm going to be interviewing a fellow by the name of Doug Adams, who wrote the book, The Music of the Lord of the Rings films. So come and check that out. And then next month, we're going to be actually talking about all three of the Lord of the Rings films. So you definitely want to come and check out those streams.
And feel free to send J-Dubs, I can never point the right way, your questions or me, and I'll forward them to him in advance. Yeah.
Amy, what do you have coming up?
I'm so glad you asked, John. I have that Saturday off, but then that Sunday, I'm going to be on Here Be Dragons with this guy for I Know That Nerd at 6 p.m. Eastern, correct, Stephen? Yes, awesome. Yeah, so I get to talk about myself for 2 hours, which is like my dream. I'm so excited. But yeah, I was just on Voice of Geekdom with Dan talking about his Dark Materials. That's on my channel. I have it as a playlist. And I just released a video of a Darkstar discussion with my co-author from my essay about Darkstar. And what I have coming up on my channel is I just recorded a great discussion with Lo the Lynx. They and myself talked about Orientalism and colonialism in his Dark Materials. We had a great discussion, and that'll be up soon as John helps me edit it. Then I will upload that. And I'm going to have Lo back on the channel because we're writing an essay together about Lysono Mar through a queer Orientalist lens. And then I'm also going to have an essay out about Cersei and her parallels to the last Empress of China. And I'm going to have Rohan, aka at Cyril Woodcock on Twitter, who is a big Cersei stan. I'm going to have her on, and we're going to talk all about the Queen Regent herself. And that's going to do me for 2020. I have a lot coming up for 2021, but I will leave it there. If you sub to my channel, follow me on Twitter, got all the stuff coming up. Like I said, there's some Avatar: The Last Airbender things coming up. And I'm Amy Poehler, Poller. I am going to poll you about your Avatar: The Last Airbender, his Dark Materials, and Aswaf opinions. So I will leave it there. All the links are in the description.
Oh, actually, I was going to say, like, the thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that I'm a survey researcher, and I've done fandom research, so hit me up if you ever... I know, I'm like, Amy, let's talk about this stuff afterwards, because actually I just finished the Subtle Knife today.
Oh my gosh, that's so
yes!
exciting.
I know, I'm so excited for season 2.
The first, yes, I'm actually having, Erin M was in the chat earlier. I'm having her over on Monday, IRL, to watch it together. So the first episode, the Brits already got it last week. Gosh.
What?
Yeah, it's not fair. It's because it's a BBC HBO thing, but whatever.
Oh, I was like, I'm gonna pirate that.
I would
yo ho. Sorry.
Yeah, I would love to have you on in the future, Christina, for Avatar and HDM and Aswaf, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, I'm deep. Like, I read the Kyoshi novels and all of it.
Oh my god. Okay, we'll geek out later.
I know. I was like, hit me up
for that.
Hit me up.
Yeah, no, I've been obsessed with Avatar since I watched it as it was airing, and me and my friends would have discussions at lunch, and I would have watch parties at my house, like for the all of season 3. Basically, every week I had my friends over to watch it together. So
Oh my god, it's so funny seeing the New York, like, what was it, like, New York City Comic Con trailer for season 3, and just, like, listening to everyone react to it. I don't know, it's not, there's a link out there, but it's like, everyone's like, like, and then there's, like, a Zutara thing, and it's like, everyone's like,
Oh my god, are they gonna get together? Yeah.
Yeah, only in your fanfic, sorry.
I read a lot of Zutara fanfic.
Oh god! Yeah, I need some, like, what would be, okay, I guess, I don't know, like, what, okay, besides Jack and Sally, like, are there any other, like, couples that you can put together here? Like, the mayor and, like, I don't know,
like,
I guess there's not a lot
felt
of...
a little bit of sexual tension between the mayor and the werewolf.
Ooh, furry! Oh god, I know, well, I will say, like, Halloween, well, there was, like, the big, like, bloated lady and, like, her kid on the leash. Which was scary. Oh, that poor, and then he was, like, crying at one point. He was like, Christmas will happen. Jack's dead. Whatever. But, like, yeah, the kid on a leash, that's, like, a great thing to have at a Halloween.
That really reminded me of when, I don't obviously get out anymore because quarantine, but when people have their kid on a leash and it's like, is that because you're bad at watching your kid or because your kid is really, like, prone to run off? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, like, helicopter parenting kind of thing.
Anyway, Steven, what do you have coming up?
Oh, right. Me? What am I doing? Tomorrow night, we're getting back to some Expanse coverage over on Here Be Dragons. We're going to have Alicia Kingston, who was in the chat just a moment ago, and Monaro Geek TV is going to be back. So we will be discussing Naomi Nagata. We'll be doing a character deep dive on her. Week after that, Amy, you've got the week off from John Webster Films, so I'm like, I might as well have you come over and talk to you about something. We'll find something to talk about. I've literally done I Know That Nerd with John and with Christina. And now, Amy, you get to join the club.
I know, that's overdue.
Aww, you're so sweet.
No, Amy came in hot, though. She came in hot on the fandom.
She did.
All of a sudden, she was just there. And it was like,
where
have you been?
For like 2 years, I was just creeping on videos. And then a year in, I was like, all right, I will comment in live chats. And then about 6 months ago, I was like, you're going to get all the content.
You're like, I'm ready.
I'm used to it.
It's like, I'm coming out.
Oh, God. Yeah, basically.
I guess I was trying to do the disco version, and then I just went to pink for some reason.
Oh, I'm fine.
It's looking ahead a little bit, but the week after that is Mandalorian. Whatever's been released for the Mandalorian up to that point, and I'm like, I was looking forward to it, but after the episode that came out yesterday, I'm like, yes, it's time for Mando. Like, I loved that episode yesterday. So
that was it's too short, like John and I were talking about, but it was great.
Yeah,
hype for it.
They teased us, Amy, with that extended premiere episode, and now they're shortening the episodes. It's like,
the next one's going to be 15 minutes.
Look, what they gave us yesterday was awesome and action-packed start to finish. So, like, I'm just going to, would I have liked more? Yeah, but if my only complaint about the whole thing is it could have been a little bit longer, like, that, I'm going to call it a win. It was my favorite episode, maybe of the whole series so far. Anyway, we're not here to talk about.
I'm sorry, J-Dubs. I have one more thing to plug. I'm sorry. Someone who just joined our fam, the HBD fam, named Yogi, who is Through the Moon Door on YouTube. He just started a podcast, and he asked me to offer some notes about colonialism and Aswaf, and I was like, how about I just come on and talk about it? So I'm going to be on his podcast as well. Because I have so much time, guys. So much.
You guys are making me miss this. Like, I need more invites. Help me out.
All right.
I don't want to.
Like all of 2021, Lady Turtle is going to be on my channel for every single video. Be ready, guys.
Yeah, I was like, yo, just hit me up. I'm too lazy to start my own channel. So.
Do you watch The Expanse?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I do recall when you guested on Steven's channel and the question was asked, did you say that you liked the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
Oh, yes. Do 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 do.
That's
mean,
what we're.
Do,
Make
I'm
no-
noting it down. Noting it down.
Oh yeah, no, well, obviously, I mean, why am I here? Because Tim Burton, like, I know Johnny Depp's had some personal issues and, like, but before that, before Amber Heard happened to him, like, he was my crush. And, yeah, I used to watch, like, everything he was in, and,
Yeah,
John only lets me go like plan ahead by 2 months, so I've already in my head thinking about January and February, but he won't let me write it down. So, but once we get into December, I'm coming at you January.
You're getting on here being like, John only lets me, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of attacks being like, damn it, he's not in control of you. You plan out as much as you want.
Except
you guys need to duke it out.
Except it's John Webster's name on the logo. And I will say this too.
You're like Amy Sally Fire over here, like
No one listens
unappreciated.
to Amy.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm Sandy Claus. I'm like, hey, how about you listen to that input? She sees your channel burning and she's just trying to help.
No, literally, when he asked me to be his co-host the next day, I was like, here's a Google Doc link. I have 100 films that I want to do, and let's start a schedule. He had no idea what he was getting into.
But in fairness, like it has been, we are about a month in, so, go ahead and add some more. Just please don't add the entire year of 2021. I beg you.
Okay.
You also got to leave room for people to like. You never know when you're going to make a new friend who you want to come on and talk about a movie. You can't plan 2 years in advance. Come on now.
I've already asked a couple of people on, and one of them has already said yes. So anyways, that'll be in 2021. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe. I think you still have the thing in the corner, right, John? There's a little thing in the corner that you can click.
Click on and subscribe to the channel. Anyway.
Yeah. Will you guys do any more Tim Burton movies?
One more thing. Like and subscribe and all that stuff.
We are. As a matter of fact, Christina, I'll just send you the whole Google Doc, and you can tell us what movies you want to talk about, and then you can come on.
Okay. Do I have to do a Filk song for everyone? Because I might. I might just do it because I'm bored.
In that case, yes, you have to.
Yeah, you do.
I know, they're fun.
Where have we even left off with the Nightmare Before
Who the
Christmas?
heck knows?
The Nightmare Before webcasting.
Not talking.
What's this?
Don't know where we are. What's this?
I have no attention span and I cannot. And I must plug all my YouTube channels and think about 2021.
It's true. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well, what's your favorite Christmas present from The Nightmare Before Christmas? Like the
bad ones?
twisted.
I like the Jack in the Box that had. What was it that jumped out?
The pumpkin. It was a pumpkin.
Yeah, and it was all like scary. I really like that because Jack in the Box already scare me because they like surprise you, and so it's like but it's a clown, in which I think clowns are creepy, honestly. But then to add like this creepy like skeleton, pumpkin thing. Ugh.
I thought it was a missed opportunity to have Jack Skellington in a box, but right? I was like Jack in the Box, but
I would say, see how I transformed this old rat into a most delightful hat.
Then he puts it on. I love it. They tried. They really tried.
But then Jack gives notes on it, but he's like tried this. What was it? A bat instead? Is like something fresher. Don't give up. It's like he's not even instructing, like telling them to do the right thing. He's off the mark too. So he's not.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you give someone an assignment or something at work and they just like give it to you and it's completely effing wrong and you have to redo it or something. That's kind of what it felt like. But I'm trying to think. There's actually like some really interesting, like looking up the presents. Like they're all connections to like other Tim Burton movies or references to things like the the flying, like, it's so funny. We had the dog toy of it, but we had the dog toy of it, but my dogs destroyed it.
Dog toys are meant to be chewed until they're destroyed.
John, can I put up one of your pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we have pictures of toys? Oh, yes, that is the sandworm from, obviously,
I was going to say, that's
Beetlejuice.
from Beetlejuice right there.
Yeah.
Yeah!
So they had the sandworm from Beetlejuice. Like, there's some really interesting stuff where the only Disney reference in the movie was, like, they had the little, like, flying Mickey Mouse. It's like a Mickey Mouse looking thing. And then the girl who opens it is wearing a Mickey Mouse nightgown. And her brother is wearing a Donald Duck nightgown, which I thought was really interesting. And then it was like the thing, and then they got the duck, and the duck was actually from Batman. It was like the there's like a duck mobile, right? They're all references. I'm trying to think of some other examples, but yeah, there was the sandworm from Beetlejuice. I don't know if the wreath was anything, but that wreath was great too.
I'm sure you guys noticed this. I thought it was an interesting stylistic choice that you don't see the faces of any of the adults. Like when they call the police and he answers the phone, he's like, "Hello, yes, oh, that's the second toy complaint we've gotten today," right? And then you have like the newscaster, but you don't really see necessarily their face. It kind of reminds me of Cow and Chicken. I don't know if anyone ever watched that. That was the same thing.
Speaking of the adults, though, something that I didn't even notice until Micah made note of it last night in the chat was that when the announcers come on and say Santa is making, Christmas right again, and it shows Santa like delivering all the presents. In one shot, the parents are lying in the background, presumably dead.
Their foot switching, so there might be.
Yeah, there's hope, maybe.
They fainted, John.
Yeah, that was the kid that got the severed drunken head, right?
Yeah, that and then attacked them. Yeah. I also love the how he was like, "Oh, I need reindeer. I'm gonna give a picture of reindeer to this mad scientist." Like, way to go. But I will say Zero, though. Like I said, my favorite character got to be Rudolph. It's so cute.
It's like it's not even a close-up picture of the reindeer. It's a silhouette picture.
Yeah.
It's like, this should be easy.
Exceedingly simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to also the head. So the first gift that was given was like the head, right? So that's actually the head from the Beetlejuice like waiting room.
Yes,
it is.
Yes. Oh my God, it is. Oh God, I love Beetlejuice so much.
Man.
There's so many.
That's going on the list if it's not already on there, John.
Sure, why not add some more?
We only have 150, John. It's not enough.
So after seeing the Beetlejuice musical, I tried watching Beetlejuice again, and it's like unwatchable because the musical was so much better. That's why I'm like, you guys. I have so much I could say about it. Like, one, why don't they record every Broadway like thing and stream it? There's got to be some kind of like corporate thing going on, or like Broadway won't let. But maybe that will change with the pandemic. But like how they did the Hamilton release, they should do that with like every musical. They should do it with Beetlejuice though.
I think there's a little bit of this idea of theater being an experience, but we can't have that right now. So I really wish that they like Wicked. I saw Wicked in as a Broadway play, and it was amazing that way. But it would also be great if I could watch it on TV.
And also, by the time a lot of people actually get to finally see a musical on stage, you've missed the original performers, and that's why
that should be immortalized.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I personally am, this is going back years and years, but I'm an enormous fan of the film Amadeus, and the original play had Tim Curry as Mozart and Ian McKellen as Salieri. And I'd give anything to see those performances, but I never will because I think there's pictures of it, but I don't think they ever actually recorded it for posterity.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I saw Beetlejuice in November with the original Broadway cast on and also it's a great soundtrack just to like listen to or whatever. It was incredible. Like the guy, Alex Brightman, I'm pretty sure, the Beetlejuice guy, is just unbelievable. The songs are great.
Do they keep the same song where she gets like floated up?
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
The banana song, or like, what is it?
Hey, I said it.
Yeah. They kept that. And then.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh,
There won't
yes,
be singing.
they kept
it's just
that.
This time it wasn't from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, they kept that. Oh my god, it was so good. And
Anyway,
I'm like, make that Tim Burton, like, have that be like the next, because I'm sorry, like, I'm so over live action adaptations of
What?
the same.
Oh man.
Christina, what are you talking about? Seeing Lion King exactly the same, but with 3D, with
Dude, I got like 5 minutes into it before like gagging.
Yes, I made
on
him
my own
frustrated.
bottom.
Woo!
I know.
Everyone.
I got 5 minutes into that with it being like, this is an abomination. Same with Aladdin. Oh my god, no, Aladdin. Aladdin, I got to the part where they like where we all
and they
know
added
like
that Jasmine song where they were like, oh, but she's gonna scream about how she doesn't like being controlled by the patriarchy. It's like, thanks, Disney, you made it so much better.
I didn't get past the part where Robin Williams was rolling in his grave because like they hired Will Smith. Like I didn't even get past, like that was when I shut it off. Like I was like, no.
Honestly, hot take, I thought Will Smith was actually pretty good in it.
Robin Williams, like you can't.
No, you can't. They should have never even touched it because. Okay, I'm sorry, John. We're totally
It's perfect.
speaking over your stream about Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I thought we were.
Well, that's a whole thing. They won't. Tim Burton won't let them. They were trying to do I don't know if it was live. They were gonna do like another kind of. He is, and I commend Tim Burton for this. Like he has very much been like, no sequels. Like you will not redo this. You will not, this is how it exists, and it will stay this way. And I love it. It's great to know that. It's great to know that consumerism will not ruin the things that I love and hold dear, at least this one. They're doing everything else.
Yes, Leaf. It's what I live for. Hey, he told me in a DM he wanted me to be his co-host because I challenge him. So, you know.
You need that energy in a co-host.
I know.
You need a little like
off the rails.
You so threw that in my face on a previous stream. I did.
It's
like, damn it, no, I will not accept this, slander against whatever we were talking about. And you were like, you wanted me as your co-host to challenge you. I'm like, damn it. But yeah, I mean, being stop motion was part of the whole thing of why Tim Burton wanted to do this, because he really loved all the Rankin Bass stop motion animation holiday specials, when he was younger. And so the very notion of doing, yeah, Callie, it really does. So the entire notion of pulling it out of that and attempting to do a live action version of this is heresy. So
how do you get someone skinny enough to be Jack Skellington? Like those proportions are just don't ruin it. And I like that Tim Burton has that control.
Oh yes, but you do that CGI.
True. Sorry.
And that's live action. That's not at all just another form of animation.
And so Sally would also have to be CGI, right? Because you can't have someone
because people are lazy now.
No, we're gonna literally hack a woman to pieces and sew her back together.
That is the only way I'll accept it, Stephen.
Right. That's the only. Well, wouldn't it be more like undead action instead of live action?
Ooh, nice.
Deep thoughts, man. That's what I'm here for.
So yeah.
Which of course,
oh my God. Amy, I love your sass.
And of course, that's the whole reason why the line, the Oogie Boogie's line, "You must be double dead," is in there, because Jack's technically already dead. So when they, go around saying Jack's dead, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Well, also when they had Sally and Sandy Claus, I can't say his name normally now, are like going to this, like their doom. It's like, couldn't Sally just get sewn back together? The danger doesn't feel as real, but Santa Claus is definitely gonna hella die. Like, that's
So-
obvious.
Yeah, so actually her insides were
Leaves.
leaves. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, true. It's well, I imagine like that goo is like will incinerate you, so she would just
Oh,
like,
yeah,
fail to
you're right.
exist,
It would,
right?
like, be like ash, nothing.
Yeah, or just
that's
like
true.
liquid whatever.
Yeah.
But well, it was interesting. I'm like, what is like the Oogie Boogie origin too? Because it's like he's a sack of bugs, and that's why like the kids sent him a bug to like become more Oogie Boogie. But it's like this whole, how are you like a moving sentient creature that is just like made of bug? I mean, maybe that's like they're like atoms or something. That's how
This is why he creeped me out so much as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, because, and I remember seeing like production photos of him like on cards or something before I even saw the movie as a kid. And just the idea of this sack of bugs is so
Yeah.
creepy.
this gambling addict like sack of bugs. Yes.
And he's also kind of removed from the rest of Halloween Town, right? Like, we don't see
Yeah.
him out. We only see him in his lair. It makes him more
we
scary.
saw his reflection on the moon. That was
Yeah,
like the
he's-
only other thing. He was
He's
like
still allowed in on the musical numbers.
yeah, as the reflection on the moon, which is interesting. Which is also cool because so thinking about if it started on Halloween, I don't know, it's like one of those things where somebody online had figured out like exactly what year this could have taken place in because of like a full moon on Christmas.
People
But
have way
also
too much time on their hands.
I know, right? They're like, it could have been like 1979 or 1955 or whatever.
Like, the
But-
phone that they used to call the police does look kind of 70s, I will say.
Yeah. But so I was like, oh, this year the full moon was Halloween. So that was interesting to me. Like having a full moon on Halloween this year was kind of, that was Oogie Boogie's chance to
Which
do
I
this
didn't get
little
to
song.
enjoy. I always go to Halloween parties. This year I had to be safe, and it was sad.
I got married this year. It was like get married this year, and then my anniversary can always be on Halloween in the future, and like we can party. Right?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
a fine
cosplayed.
plan.
I cosplayed as a bride this year.
I dressed up as Supergirl, which you can see on Plug.
Oh,
the
that was
stream
so
I did with
cute.
John. Thank you.
I'm
We
being
did a stream
Just
about the others.
Just so everybody knows, I'm being impersonated here.
That were me. I keep forgetting if I type in the thing, it's going to come up as your name.
Steven has the power.
But I do love how this movie's like just been such a cult classic because it actually didn't it only made like I don't know the budget for it by any means, and I mean gosh, what went into making this movie is just incredible. Like it was like 1 week for every minute. I'm pretty sure it took them 3 years to make this.
It
1
reminds
week.
me of the claymation. Have any of you guys seen Parks and Rec? I know Steven hasn't yet. Have you, Christina? So one of the characters, Ben Wyatt, he's like lost his job. And so he spends like a week doing a stop motion, like claymation stop motion thing. And he's like, it's only like 3 seconds. And he's like, that took me a whole week. And so that kind of reminds me of that scene. Some people in the chat I know have seen Parks and Rec, so they can back me up. That was a great scene.
I just looked. The budget for this movie was $18 million.
So they made $50 million, but on the re-release, I think it was like 75 million. They've made it back. Like they're still making money on, obviously, Hot Topics made a lot of money off this movie.
Yeah.
Hot Topic, and so it's like there's money to be made here, but thankfully Tim Burton is pulling the brakes on like tarnishing its legacy. But I do love its place in pop culture because it is this cult classic movie that was kind of like a gamble I don't know, I mean, is it underground or like it was kind of a gamble. It was like this could have been real weird and bad, and it ended up being like just kind of a staple in this like weird, again, time of like, are you a Halloween movie? Are you a Christmas movie? We don't know.
Plus, it's like Disney wanted to wipe their hands clean of it if it was.
Yeah,
so they shouldn't then get to,
Disney does whatever they want
and ruin it. So I'm glad that Tim Burton isn't letting them do that.
I'm very glad. Yes, very glad. It's about the art and not about making money for some people that are creators like Tim Burton. And I really appreciate that because you can make a lot of money off of a sequel.
Yeah, like the St. Patty's Day, but it's like it just.
Would the rainbow be like a spider web? How can you Halloweenify St. Patrick's Day?
Or does like St. Patty come to like St. Patty-fy Halloween? Who knows?
I love that. I would love that though. They're like all of the jack-o'-lanterns are green.
All of a sudden, like they're very lucky versus unlucky, which is actually like the shirt says unlucky on the back, and I'm like. Nice. I don't even know what that's about because that wasn't in the movie, but either way, it's just merchandise.
I still find it funny that the building I'm in doesn't have a 13th floor and planes don't have a 13th row. Like Americans are all like, oh my God, all these other cultures are so superstitious. And it's like, really? You took a number that, and Kelly in the chat, Jaded Redhead, can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was a sacred number in paganism. And so Christians were like, that must be a bad number then. So it's like, great, like, good for you. You're just as superstitious as everyone else.
I almost said something I probably am glad to say. I was like, this thought came in, and I was like,
I'm going to ask a question of the assembled panel. So there's a lot of like background characters in this film. Do you have a favorite design for one of them? Like one that's like the guy? Because my favorite is the guy with the axe in his head. Bunny. That guy.
Bunny.
He's my favorite, man.
I love
He's got the big wide open eyes. He never blinks.
John, could you put up Kelly's comment? 13 is one more than the disciples. Thank you. I knew there was some reason for it being a bad number in Christianity, 13. Thank you, Kelly. I actually liked the werewolf a lot. I thought he was really funny. And then I think there's one part where he howls. I can't remember when it is. But I think it's when they're crying about Jack, maybe. And because he's all kind of shut up in his castle, right? I really enjoyed that.
I really do like the little, I don't know what to call him other than the little kid, the one who goes, there goes Christmas. And then at other points when, Jack's up in his tower and they're all singing their lyrics and he goes, hope he hasn't died.
It's like he's all right.
Looking.
Solid choice.
I was going to say my favorite character design, like, very ancillary character is, and I'm looking, all they say is Bat Kid, but it's like the little kid that's like walks on his wings.
Yeah, he's friends with the little zombie kid.
Yeah, I like him a lot. It's like
something's wrong with Jack.
Yes.
We're ever going to get him back.
I love it.
I know. I wonder what just like regular life is there. They're just like, hey, what's up? Because there's a lot of camaraderie and loyalty between all of them, right? Like they're a society. This is Halloween Town. Not to be confused with the original movie, Halloween Town.
It's like we know that the mayor is obsessed with planning out each Christmas, but like I do wonder what the rest of them do throughout the year. Are they equally as focused on planning the next Halloween, or
writing songs, singing? Like, what are you doing?
Or like, do they have their own, private, activities that they do and hobbies they engage in?
Sucking blood, and it's like where
the werewolf is like sharpening his teeth and like good oral hygiene, and
they gave an award for most blood sucked in a single evening. Doesn't that seem like rigged in favor of the vampires.
I mean,
I thought werewolves might have been a contender, but
nah, they just bite and like tear people apart.
yeah,
but you're right. It's only
it was most
the
blood
vampires.
drained. It was drained.
I don't know. The mad scientist could like drain people with blood, like with a blood bag, but that wouldn't be as efficient as just being a vampire. You're right. It's rigged. Steven's right.
Election shenanigans.
Telling you. I demand a
Fake
recount.
Yeah, fake ballots. Fake bloody ballots.
I do find it interesting though at the end where there's snow for the first time at Halloween Town, and like I said earlier, it's kind of Santa flies by and he's like ho ho ho, and it's like he's thanking them for like skirting up Christmas,
releasing him.
Thanks for making all of these problems. Like I gotta go clean up your bullshit right now. Thanks. Like I never.
Well, he was like, I already cleaned up your bullshit, but like, hey Sally, I'm gonna do you a solid and like show the real spirit of Christmas.
See, Sally was the one that actually helped him out, so I think he's thanking Sally.
Yeah.
Because she's
like
also the only other character besides Jack who, like, when he's first singing about it, she has that, oh, Jack, I know what you mean type of feeling when he's singing about wanting to have something more. And I believe it's the second song in the whole film, Jack's Lament.
He's like, ho, 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 get that D, girl. Like, sorry.
Yes, this is why we need Christina on.
Ho, ho, ho.
Woo!
Get that D, girl.
Yeah, Sally, go bone that skeleton.
Yeah, get that bone daddy. Bag yourself some bone daddy.
We should not have had her on when I'm also on.
Oh
John,
my
because
God.
we're two peas in a pod. We got.
You
the
don't
blonde.
deserve
We
her.
love
You don't.
hip-hop, we're blonde and we love making dirty
Yeah.
jokes. Just saying.
Yeah, you don't deserve her, but what? Go get that.
But go get it. No, I
Yeah,
love
go
it.
get that.
It is really romantic though. The scene with the swirl.
Oh, I cry.
Every time, because he first has that song where he's like, what is there for me? And he's also like, oh, sad ghost doggy. I'm like, oh, and then in the end, it's where he like finds himself again, sort of.
He's like, wow, you were what I needed the whole time.
And it's like, yeah, duh. Like J-Dubs was saying, like, pay attention to the hot girl that's trying to flirt with you. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. It's like one of those things where it's like, oh, at the end, like, let me redeem myself and like come back, and yeah, now we can. Now that I've made you suffer, let's have a relationship. It's just the beginning. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. That was a really sweet moment, and it makes me cry. It still makes me cry. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jack was doopy and naive, but he came around in the end. And
It's like the Taylor Swift time. She was there the whole time.
like,
Nope, can't go there with you. Sorry, can't follow you there.
I don't know. Wait, was that like a B-side, Swiftie?
No, she's cheer captain and on the bleachers. Okay, never mind.
Yes. Okay. No.
That was
I had a
an
roommate-
A-side, and there aren't even B-sides
No, it was.
anymore because
No, it was, and no, my roommate in college used to listen to that on repeat. I know that. Yeah, I know that one. It was just an old
I know
one.
Kate and a couple of other people in the chat are Taylor T Swiftie fans, so they can back me up on that. But
T Swift. Oh my gosh.
no,
Yeah.
but I really
T
first-
Swift would have made an album. She would have made an album about Jack. Like there would have been a Jack Skellington.
yes,
Skellington, Bone Daddy,
Jack
Fuckboy.
Yeah, broke up with her.
Yeah,
So
Bone
John,
Daddy,
you know-
Fuckboy.
She would have a
album.
track called "Thanks for the Boning." You know.
Thanks for the bone.
I'm making
Thank you.
notes.
Next.
I'm making notes for the Pirates of the
I just did
Caribbean.
a little bit of
script.
Ariana. I'm sorry.
Stick to straight outline.
No.
We didn't have an outline.
Thrive on
That's
the
your
chaos,
fault.
J-Dubs. No, but I really did find that scene very romantic between between Jack and Sally, and I think that because that swirl, right? If I'm not mistaken, J-Dubs, the thumbnail that you have for this video is with the swirl kind of kill, correctly?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, I said correctly. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like 3 glasses of wine in. Anyway, I really appreciated the aesthetic of that and how then it comes back around to be kind of a comforting symbol, whereas before it made Jack look lonely. kind of by himself, and then Zero kind of off in the background being like, oh, so sad. Oh, Zero, I love you. But I really appreciated that it came full circle, and you have, Jack, starting the next chapter of his undead life with Sally, which is just so sweet.
Which is but on the subject of the hill, though, because it, in the beginning of the film, as he's walking down, it sort of, unfurls so he can walk down. And Tim Burton didn't want anything magical in the Halloween town. He wanted to keep everything except for, you've got ghosts swirling around. But as far as the actual physical nature of the town, he wanted it to be real. And the only way one of the designers sort of talked him into doing that with the hill was he said, "Oh, it's a mechanical hill," but we know the truth. It's there's a touch of magic there.
So
it's a touch of feelings. It's like that's where Jack expresses that he's like bored with his life. It's like a turning point, and then that's where Sally goes and is, expresses her feelings about Jack, and then that's where they end up like reuniting. And those are kind of like 3 pivotal moments of the film.
Yeah.
So, and just the symbolism. I mean, it's really beautiful, and obviously it's like on all the posters. It's a great example of like having a visually, I don't know, like even in marketing, like it's just like you see that and you're like, I know that's Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, I know what it is. And it evokes emotion. And that's why, because all these like emotional moments happen there, and songs, and you want to cry and blah, blah, blah. Like it's a very special place that's like visually resonant, and you recognize it in an instant.
I do want to mention about the sort of design and layout of the town, which I think is why they were able to turn this into a really good 3D version of the film, which they put out in theaters, because there's so many sort of layers to everything, and stuff like when he walks down the hill looks so great in 3D. Just and then you've got moments like when Sally is lowering the food down the tower, and I remember seeing that in 3D, and it was almost like it was coming right at you. So just the way this film was constructed is kind of lended to that. But even when you're not watching it in 3D, it's just beautiful how they did everything. And when I was watching it today, it's like even simple stuff when the mayor is like walking up to Jack's home, and the way he moves from sort of the background and then moves up the stairs into the foreground. It's just beautifully done.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece for sure, and should not be touched. Also, we have not talked about the mad scientist, like Sally's creator, which Dr. I kind of thought, yeah, Dr. Creepy Creeps, yeah, like
Dr. Dumbo Stein.
Dr. like Jeffrey Epstein. No, I'm sorry.
Stephen and I disagree about the pedo aspect of this. I think there's a lot of pedo aspect.
Dude, it's like weird. Well, it's kind of like if Edward Scissorhands took like a effed up turn. Well, okay. I will tell you one thing I really noticed this time was like, so when Jack, right at the end, when he's like seeing Sally and he sees that like Dr. Pedo like has a new like wife, he like looks at that and he's like, oh, so Sally's single. Like it was almost like, oh, the ownership of this is relinquished. So, and it was like some kind of like,
you know what I'm gonna say,
creating...
Chat? Patriarchy.
I actually am out of wine. Oh god.
Well, my spin on it is.
Oh, Christina, I'm a professional.
I know. I tried to limit myself so I didn't get like too quick on because I have no self-control.
We've only got 15 minutes left. You should go.
No self-control.
Yeah, baby, husband, please help me.
My interpretation, though, is that relationship is more like an overprotective father. That's how I thought. But you know,
Absolutely not. I will agree.
I think that most female viewers or viewers with uteruses would not see it that way.
Dude, no one's trying to
interpret
poison.
that way, Stephen. Actually, that's why I love you so much.
Yeah, that's optimist.
No.
That's like Jack Skellington level.
No, there's a lot
there.
of weird.
what can I say? Positivity
going
is a
on.
lifestyle choice.
Are you kidding me? He's like, you're trying to poison me again, like that, meaning that she had tried to poison him multiple times. She had tried to kill her captor / creator multiple times.
Because she's trying to sneak out after curfew to go see her boyfriend.
You don't poison that. Like, poison's different than like, you know, crushing up some zanies.
But that's the
or
thing
something.
he's not just keeping her locked up. He's keeping her from kind of discovering herself as a sexual being, and I think that is because he wants to have sexual dominance over her. This is the hill.
Oh
Ready?
wow! Okay,
Dying on Dying on it.
I'm sorry.
Pussy first.
I cannot follow you there.
Oh shit! Oh damn! He took off the hat. He's putting his hair down.
Wait, I'm getting more wine.
Hold on.
We can absolutely disagree, Stephen. We're friends. We can do that. That's just not how I saw it. J-Dubs is like, this is going off the rails. Oh my god! Please, someone save me.
I will say,
oh, so cute.
I will say, like,
J-Dubs, what do you think about pedophilia?
I'm again it.
because what I obviously want to do is jump into the sinking boat with Steven. No.
No, what? Okay.
Like I could. I honestly.
No, I need a poll right now on like. I need a few things. I need age, gender, and like.
See,
what the hell was that?
I think most men would say that they did not since. I'm not going to generalize, but I think most men would say they didn't sense any weird sexual stuff, and most women would say that they did. I don't want to generalize either gender, and there are non-binary and trans individuals out there, but I'm sorry, J-Dubs, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of walked in.
Stop impersonating me. I did that to you like one time, and you are doing it over and over. Please stop.
I don't mean to. I forget. Seriously.
But you know what? Now that you've gone and done that, you're completely wrong, Stephen. Don't agree with you at all. Just
Wait, sorry, I missed it. I was grabbing.
We're still talking about the pedo daddy stuff going on.
Okay, so no, I totally think it is. Because old dude again, like, and I also think it has. I felt so many, and I didn't read this online. Like, I felt like the vibe of Edward Scissorhands, like let me like create something, except it's like totally turned on its head and like nasty.
Why didn't he create a man then? He specifically picked
exactly. That's why that the guy. So
and you've got Oogie Boogie being like, "Ooh, look at this leg!" Like there's all of this sexual aspects to Sally.
Yeah, and she was She already knew how to manipulate people with sex when she ran into that Oogie Boogie. Like she knew how to.
Where did she knew how
to? Yeah, where did you learn? You don't pick that up. That's a nurture, and yeah, that's nurture. That's not nature. I hope. But
I will say that as a kid, I probably would not have that wouldn't have registered with me. I probably would have looked at it as,
of course,
sort of yes, creepy dominance, but maybe not thinking of a sexual element there. But it's the fact that by the end of the movie, he's obviously created someone else to be a wife, to be.
But Sally was 1.0. That was 2.0.
And it's the fact that, it's the thing with Sally. There was a father-daughter element to it, but that just serves to make it more creepy.
Okay,
I didn't get a father-daughter. Father-daughter's love, like this is like, I created you, I own you, and
and actually Kelly made this really great comment about fathers are supposed to protect their daughter's virginity in traditional family units, and that in itself has a kind of like a dominance over her sexual life going on.
Let me counterpoint with this film is rated PG. There are no like pedophilia
Disney-
undertones intended for this film.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know how old Sally is, but it's still like an inappropriate, like,
I mean,
he doesn't
Steven,
do anything sexual with her.
elements of
Steven,
control.
we're talking about Tim Burton.
But that's like his woman, like she's like his caretaker / wife, essentially. And then she's replaced by the end. And Jack, I swear to God, Jack gives this look of like, watch it again. I swear. He gives this look. He looks, sees that the scientist guy has like another woman like rolling his wheelchair, and he's like, ooh. And then I said to my husband, I was like, oh, so he like knows Sally's single now. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He gave up his ownership of her because she was replaced by someone who looked like him, like almost like and again, you guys already inferred that was his wife, right? Not his daughter. So it's
Still,
like,
me, Christina, dying on it.
no, I got creepy vibes from him. Like, he was such a creep, and she's trying to poison
creepy, I'll
him
give
and
you that.
shit. She's trying to poison him and shit. It was like, it's definitely one of those things where, yeah, that's like, I guess
Steven.
there's a question mark there, but like, people will run off with
They
their
had to
own
be subtle because it was
interpretation.
not, you
Well,
know,
it's Disney.
Well,
But then again, there was a D on the. I mean, Disney is perverted in 6 too. I'm sorry, like don't.
Yeah, you have
Sorry,
Sleeping Beauty.
Mickey-
Like she didn't have
Mickey, don't come after me.
taken out
Yeah,
with her. Like, come on,
Mickey,
Disney's
don't-
not great
yeah.
about consent.
yeah,
Oh,
don't
good.
come after me, Mickey. But like, you did have like one of the columns of. I mean, there's a column in Epcot that's a dick, and like, there's a dick on the cover of The Little Mermaid, like the
And
original
all good teenagers
VHS.
take off their clothes.
Yes, like we all know that those animators are perverts sometimes and like to like stick in those.
Yeah,
little
Ariel was
things and-
16. Anyway, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, I
I
totally get it.
into Disney.
All right.
Okay.
This is going to be for Bleep the Patriarchy. Nessie.
Yeah,
We're
but
gonna do
yeah.
an episode on Disney.
I'm just gonna say, Stephen, as far as the whole PG rating goes, forget Disney. Tim Burton made a PG Batman film where Catwoman was a dominatrix.
There
That's
was
all I'm-
different days. Those were different times.
Was that PG or was that PG-13 though?
It was PG.
Really?
Yeah.
You can really get away with it. We talked about this, J-Dubs and I talked about this with the Duchess, right? Where they just like, was that the Duchess where they changed the frame so there was like less sexy going on and it got a PG rating, right?
Yeah.
Like you just have to move some things around and you don't get an R rating. It's actually really easy to game the system.
Oh my god! Wait, I want to be involved in that discussion on like.
No,
Disney
like,
and
no,
sex.
don't worry. I'm gonna DM Nessie and we're gonna have you on.
I was gonna say, come down if this pandemic ever ends, come down to Orlando. We can take a picture in front of like the dick in Morocco.
I'm sorry. I'm just
There's
thinking
a
that-
dick in Morocco at Epcot, and you can go get your picture taken there.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the fact that this is a freaking discussion on the Nightmare Before Christmas, a Disney film, and
Well, do you see Bone Daddy Triple? Were you expecting anything else?
Penises
Freaking
everywhere.
He's called Bone Daddy. I mean, like, he's canon called Bone.
No,
he's like,
just
I'm the Bone Daddy.
Just
Like, what is that?
SpongeBob SquarePants, there's all of these jokes that only adults get, but they
Yeah.
wouldn't so that kids won't get it. Like
Yeah, they
literally,
do
there's
that.
a joke in SpongeBob. And he like had Gary his snail, and he was like, "Oh, there's the soap. Don't drop it." And I was a
Yeah.
kid. I didn't get what that meant.
The entire show Brocco's Modern Life was.
Oh my
like,
god, yes.
I rewatched it. I was like,
It's
holy
a delicate
shit.
dance. These kinds of movies that are geared towards children, but still having because they know adults are going to watch it with their children, right? So they're going to put these funny sex jokes in. That's just the way it is.
Too late.
J-Dubs, you shouldn't have invited Christina on because we're the same person.
Yeah, watch out. We'll gang up on you.
No, I've heard both of you rap. I'm sorry, Christina's better rapper.
She's definitely
Oh.
better than me. That's not even a question.
Oh, there's no better than. I mean,
Yeah,
But you
there
are
is.
better than me, like objectively.
Yes, there is better than.
Wait,
There
Brian, how are you doing? Wait, I was like, do you want to close this out with some like Randy Newman?
Walking into the set. Finding out what Quintina's talking about.
Oh my God.
Leaning my head in. The camera's on. Came to get the wine. Wave and goodbye.
I have to mute because of my laugh.
I'm Randy Newman. Wait, why are you taking the wine?
Taking the wine.
I'm Randy Newman.
Give the wine back.
Giving the wine back to Christina.
I got the voice of an angel.
Oh my god. This is the best thing.
You know what?
This is the best Joe of stream ever. It's official.
I want to
Yeah.
say one last thing. I got to get one more thing in.
Yes. Yes.
I know, Brian.
And the Grammy goes to Brian, Christina's husband.
I know, I love my husband. Yay.
Oh,
I'm
that
so
was-
honored to be his wife. Yes.
When you're done with the stream, please tell him that he is the best at that Newman impression.
We've been doing it all day. Or not all day, like all month. It's been great.
Oh, that's amazing. Sorry, Stephen, go ahead.
The only thing I wanted to make sure that I wanted to say is, you said something earlier about how people aren't really sure how much Tim Burton was involved directly with this film. And one of the dead giveaways is that there was no Helena Bonham Carter in this movie.
Or Johnny Depp.
Or Johnny Depp.
Well, because they were working
That's
he was
true.
working on Batman and, what was the other one? There's another movie he was working on that Johnny Depp was in. Oh, shoot. I think it was like one of the movies I hadn't seen, but either way. He was working on...
Which, again, in all fairness, also Henry Selick is a stop-motion animation director, which Tim Burton, as amazing as he is, isn't. Although I don't know, did Tim Burton end up directing Corpse Bride? I don't remember
I'll find out for you.
if he did or not.
Ed Wood. That was it. Ed Wood. He was working on Ed Wood. With Johnny Depp and Batman.
Which that one too. Amy, add it to the list because that's a classic too.
Directed,
Oh my God.
for Corpse Bride was directed by Mike Johnson and Tim Burton.
Okay.
I'm also adding Beetlejuice, although knowing me, it's probably already on the list because I freaking love that movie so much.
I'm about to watch Edward Scissorhands with my husband. For
I
the
also
first
love
time.
Edward Scissorhands.
You've never
Oh my
seen
god,
it?
I cry like a little effing baby. No, Brian has not seen Edward Scissorhands,
he's
and you're about to
interesting.
watch it.
Wait,
I can't wait to I want the Randy Newman soundtrack.
Has he seen
and
the
with
Demon Barber?
Scissorhands.
Has he seen the Damon Barber Fleet Street?
I think so. I think
Okay.
he's seen Sweeney Todd.
So,
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
It's like,
All right.
I'm a
About to
cutting
say, kind of similar aesthetic a little bit.
I'm a cutting the ice. It's a looking nice.
Oh, John, by the way, congratulations. Maybe this has happened before, maybe it hasn't, but somebody disliked the stream.
And you want to know what we say? We say, screw you.
You've
man.
made it big time now, man. You've made it big
Yeah.
time.
I got my first dislike like 3 videos ago. You made it. Oh, the video I did with Voice of Geekdom got his first dislike. You know what it was? I did some feminist analysis and I said a little thing about some white men and their fragile egos. So I'm pretty
You
sure.
know what? Haters are your biggest fans. That's all I've got to
They
say.
follow
that's
you
how
so
know-
closely.
That's how you
Yeah,
know
it's like, yo, if you're
But
following
that was not
me
his
enough
first
to press the
dislike.
button.
I think his first dislike was actually on our first stream as his co-host on Mad Max, and it's because I told white men that they need to get over their bullshit. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
I gotta
I'm
say,
just watching this stream.
Well,
There,
hey, disliker, if
I
you're
got
out there,
you
if you're out there, leave us a comment and
I'm
at
right
me.
here. One of
I gotta
those.
say, I'm really
You
impressed.
disliked it.
I just now put my thumbs down on it. Yeah.
It's considered, it's by the YouTube algorithm, it's considered interaction.
Okay, I switched it back.
I gotta say, I'm really
No, we got
impressed.
2 dislikes on the Mad Max stream.
I'm really impressed though that we've gotten it disliked live. Like after the fact, I wouldn't be
sense.
surprised. But wow, thank you, whoever you are, for caring that much.
Right.
Hey man, it's probably
And
me. I've got You got haters all over the world. They're just jealous. They're your biggest
No,
fans. You gotta love your haters.
They
You gotta
couldn't
love
handle
your
Christina
haters.
and me, like both, like these two strong feminist women on the same stream.
Yeah.
Like they just
Pussy
couldn't
power.
deal. Pussy power.
Pussy power forever, but like seriously, yeah, thanks to the haters.
Yeah,
Love
we
you.
love you. You actually drive us. You actually give us even more passion to keep doing what we're doing. So thank you.
Well, it's honestly an indicator that you're doing something right when people start hating on you.
Oh my gosh. Are there 5 thumbs down now? People are like,
No,
Really?
you and all of your accounts.
people are like,
I don't see what you're talking about. Now I gotta look at it because I'm
Wait,
curious.
what?
there's literally
4.
because I
Wait, no, now people are doing it because we're talking about it.
Never mind. We don't even notice.
Oh my god, now there's 5! It's you. It's you on all your stun accounts.
I really didn't mean to.
Oh, now it went to 4. Okay, yeah, alright. This is...
You guys are okay. We need to move on from
Yeah,
that.
this is like... Let's get the absentee. Let's count that... The absentees haven't been counted.
Oh my god. Okay, please put up Kelly's comment about the WAP though. I need that in my life right now. Yes. You guys are you're just afraid of the WAP, and I understand.
I mean, hey, don't
on that note,
hate it because you hate it. I know.
any closing thoughts about the movie?
I love it. I will never not love it. My kids love it. Like, it's one of those things you can just start singing a line from any song, and I'm gonna jump in with you. It's designed for the ground up for me to love it. I love musicals. I love the Halloween spirit. So yeah, what else can be said other than go listen to that Amy Lee version of Sally's song?
Yeah. I was gonna say that this has been a staple in my life, my upbringing, like, just, I don't know. It's been there in like different points of my life, and I see it differently every time, and it's great to do that and have that perspective. And the songs are amazing. It's a great example of a standalone movie that was executed perfectly, bizarre, funny, eccentric, and it worked, and it was a risk. And I think we need more of that, especially in movies. I think we need more of that, besides depending on like redoing stuff over and over again. So cheers to that, and cheers to like the Hot Topic girls all around the world that have adopted, and boys, and you know, non-binary, and everybody. Cheers to everybody who has fell in love with this movie at some point in their lives and loved it because it's perfect.
Yeah, I like I said, my friend who was in the chat earlier, Jenna, my best friend back in Colorado, you know, we kind of grew up together, and she totally changed my opinion of this movie. And now it's one of my favorite movies ever, especially one of my favorite Tim Burton movies. And I think that you can watch it again and again, and it's not even an hour and a half, right? So it's very short, but it just really puts a lot of great elements together, the good music and the good color changes, right? You have the very kind of black and white with a little bit of color of Halloween Town, and then this bright Christmas land, right? With all these colors. So the aesthetics of it and the stop motion, like you just won't, you know, I'm sorry, I'm a 90s kid, so I'm going to be like, it will never be like the 90s again. But it's true. Like, you'll never get this kind of movie again. The 2000s is all about the CGI. They won't ever make anything like that again. And so it's really like, it kind of encapsulate, the craftsmanship that was put into the 90s, into these movies, the care with which this movie was made I appreciate that so much. And that's why it's one of my favorite movies.
Oh wait, just to cut in there, that's why I like antiquing, because it's like antique furniture will always be better than IKEA. You know, like the particle board, and like having something that's like actually handcrafted and like taken with care, and like just the artistry, and like you know so many people like put their souls into this, and it wasn't about a paycheck. It wasn't about the bottom line. It was about the art. And
I have a coffee table
need
from
that.
1916 that was handmade in Boston, and that's my favorite. That's like everything else is from like Office Max or whatever.
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
like in a factory, you know.
This is my what is it? My wedding ring or engagement ring or whatever. It's like a 1920s like Art Deco fucking masterpiece, and it's just like you're never gonna see that again. It's a unique like piece. And that's what I love about this. Yeah. Good
It is
call.
very
I love
unique.
that.
Yeah,
When I heard John was doing this, I said, "My dearest friend, if you don't mind, I'd like to join you by your side.
No, he said, I will stop being
Where
your
we
friend if
could
you don't
gaze
invite me
into
on
the
that stream.
stars and sit together now and forever."
well, and then you actually had to. And you weren't able to make it on the day that we originally planned, and you were like, you know, if you can't reschedule, I understand. And I was like, oh no, I will totally make this work, because there was no way we were going to do this without you, Stephen.
I appreciate it, my man.
Yeah.
I love this film. Like I like movies, but I love this movie.
Yeah, and
Just like you like shows, but you love The Expanse and Avatar.
Correct.
Yes.
yeah, this is an incredibly special film, even though I didn't come around to loving it until I was a bit older. But I think it's one of those that, you know, I don't think you have to have seen it when you were a kid to fully appreciate it. We had people in the chat last night who were seeing it for the first time, and yeah, I know it was great seeing Kate's sort of response to it, and she got so excited over it and was like, "Oh, this is just amazing!" And it's great to see stuff like that. And what you guys were saying about how this is kind of this type of film is a rarity, and even Tim Burton said he kind of feels like Nightmare Before Christmas was a bit of a one-off in terms of Disney animation. And it's hard to find any disagreement with that. I don't think we'll see something quite like this again, especially with the way that animation is going. So I love it. It's a movie that gets played every year in my household, and that will continue to be the case for many years to come.
Christina, this Slack that you're asking about, send me your email.
I will.
Yes, the HBD Slack is bae.
Yeah, I was like, get me in on this. Okay, I got all blurry. I swear,
It's
I'm not
if
drunk.
you're too beautiful.
I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I'm not swearing. Whatever.
You're too beautiful. The camera can't take it.
Yeah.
Sure.
If any of you are, you know, wondering what is this Here Be Dragons Slack, you can inquire about it, either get in contact with either me or Steven, or you can email us at we3dragons@gmail.com.
I will type that out in the chat so you can.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh,
You know what? You do it. Or else I'll end up posting as John Webster film, and I don't want John to get mad at me.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I've been like super MIA since.
All I do, I keep
to
trying
hell,
to study, and all I do is Slack all day with you guys. Stop being so interesting, gosh.
Ooh, I want to do that. I need to start. I don't know. I mean, not to get too personal,
This
but
is
my
basically
dad,
my social life.
Well, my dad passed away a couple months ago, and it's like having like friends and like.
I saw
social
that on your
interactions,
Facebook.
like,
Yeah,
really
I'm sorry,
nice.
Christine.
Yeah.
No,
Hey man,
love you.
he'd be really happy that I'm doing this, and also he loved this movie too. And
Aw.
cheers, my
Pull
dad.
it
He's
out for him.
Yes, Art. Wait, there he is, Art Daddy. Yeah, Art Daddy.
Yeah, you
OG
posted some
Daddy.
really sweet pictures of you and him on Facebook
Yeah.
that really touched me. That was so sweet.
And I
Thanks, yeah.
will say, in addition to the watch parties, we have the never-ending Zoom as well.
It literally never ends. Like, that one link has been going on 5 months or something. I set that link up so long ago. Why does it not die?
Yeah,
don't
no,
understand.
it's like one of those things where I feel like I disappeared for a while, but like,
You gotta do what you gotta do for your own health.
having friends is good. So love you guys.
And during
yeah.
quarantine, it's hard to have a social life. You know, it's all virtual.
Yeah, it's you really have to make efforts, and
reach out.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for reaching out to me. Like,
Of course,
this is
and
really
you're
nice.
definitely going to get some DMs from me about coming on my channel in 2021. So,
And as far as I'm concerned, we are already planning on the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
screen.
please.
it's in my
yes.
notes. It's already in my notes, and J-Dubs knows I'm going to be planning all that shit. So,
Like, do you do what? Or, yeah, oh my gosh, I'm here for that. Actually, we just rewatched, like, the OG Pirates movie.
you
Yeah,
mean the first 3 with Kira are the only movies?
those are the only
Yeah,
ones that exist.
those are canon. The rest is, like, weird.
Yeah. Shout out to the Knights of Kira. We're on Instagram and on Twitter.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah, you guys are Kira stans. Yes.
We're huge. You don't even know.
If you want to follow us, you can find us on Twitter, Knights of Kira, and we are also on both Tumblr and Instagram.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
Where
check
is
us
it
out.
the most freaky? On Tumblr, maybe?
The most freaky is in the private thirst chat that John and I have.
Yeah, that's why you really have to come on to the Slack, because there's an entire channel devoted to the Knights of Kira.
Her legal team's like looking at options for restraining orders
And we are-
as we speak.
And we're not even going to talk about the private Slack channel that Amy and I have. So
Okay, all right.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm
okay.
just gonna let that be, and like, it shall live in my.
Oh, do you guys want to see a really awesome
Subconscious.
picture real quick?
Yes.
Is it of you dancing?
No,
No?
it's not. It's of me
Well-
sitting.
Spitting or sit? Oh, nice. Is that your Shiara Sea Star cosplay?
Oh yeah. I was doing. You know, why do I always do like the secret like circle under my hip? I do that subconsciously.
What are you talking about? Your nails look amazing. You should
No,
have
like
totally done
this, like
that.
I did
Yeah, but it
that,
shows
yeah.
off showed off your manicure though. I think that's gorgeous.
Yeah, that is Shira Sea Star and Torrance Stark.
Oh my god. And oh my god, yes, that's when we met at Con of Thrones, and like I'm pretty sure no, I feel like you tapped me on the shoulder and you're like, hey, I'm Steven Stark, and I was like, yes, you are the Steven Stark. Like, like, it's so funny meeting people from Twitter at cons, and
It
you're like,
is. It's
you
kinda
are
weird
Twitter
at first.
fam. Like, of
It's
course
weird at
I
first,
know
But
you.
then like 5 minutes pass and you're just like, no, we're totally cool.
Well, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to recognize people because, like, obviously your Twitter picture is like
Yeah, it's the size of
This
a dime.
there it is,
Yeah.
like microscopic. So, and then sometimes people have pictures that aren't like really them, or you know, whatever it is. But no, it was definitely, you were like, I'm Steven Stark. I'm like, you are Steven Stark. You're right. Hello,
can't
hello,
wait-
family.
I
Hello,
can't
my
wait to
fam.
meet all of you IRL and cons. This is going to be my first time
Yes.
going to cons if it's
yeah,
allowed.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say once again, like, I am just chomping at the bits
Yeah.
to get to the next convention, whether it's Ice and Fire Con or Con of Thrones, because I was so looking forward to meeting everyone this
And there's
past year,
Worldcon potentially, but who knows?
Yeah,
It's
we'll
hard.
see about that one. 'Cause I
Well-
don't know if I can afford that, but
Pessimistic
Worldcon?
and then surprised rather than optimistic and then disappointed. That's what I say.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But then, you know, it's like there's always the thing of like, once you know people that you like, you can like kind of plan your own little adventures and run out a place and
HereBeCon, anyone? That's a real thing.
Let's do it.
That's a real thing we've been talking about for months. We're just waiting for,
The location.
The
world
Someone to
pandemic.
organize it.
Yeah, the world to not be on fire.
Yeah.
God.
I already got COVID, and I'm in like that 3 months of like maybe having antibodies to protect me. So I don't know. I just went to Disney. That was about it, which
Yeah.
is actually a lot safer than like most places that you'll go. But either way, yeah.
Well, we
get
all know
COVID,
Florida's
people.
doing well in every way possible, so
yes, we're the
sure.
poster, we're the poster child for
Yeah, my neighbors finally
proper
took down.
protocols.
Yeah, they finally took down their Trump signs. Yeah, that's great. They admitted reality before the rest of the country.
yeah.
Or
You know, it's
administration. Sorry.
the media can't call it, Christina. We have to wait and see.
No,
See
there
what
were some
happens.
like straight up like hand
I'm
painted
done.
signs.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about politics.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry, hands up. No, this is my dog voice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Zuko. I'm sorry, Maya. I'm sorry I wrote a bad song about you guys, but it was fun.
Should we wrap this up, J-Dubs?
We'll wrap
Yes.
it up. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This was pretty much the most chaotic we've ever been on the stream, and I loved every second of it. So
All the links in the description, guys.
wait. Let's go through what's coming up, what we have coming up again. Once more, want to remind you guys that next week I will be doing my interview with author Doug Adams. This is him on the left with Howard Shore on the right. Doug wrote the book, The Music of the Lord of the Rings films. That's going to be an awesome episode. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while now. So go ahead and tune in for that. And then the week after that, Amy and I are going to be talking about the Keira Knightley film, Colette, with our fellow Knight of Keira, Jared, whether you all admit that he exists or not.
No. Jared exists, but he's a professional actor you have hired to pretend to be,
your friend. Who also likes season 8 and Keira. That's not
basically.
Wait, what?
We'll talk after. We'll talk
after. And then next month we're going to be covering all 3 Lord of the Rings films.
Yes.
Confirmed guests: Dan, aka Voice of Geekdom. Helen the Clueless Fangirl will be talking with us for the 3rd film, Return of the King. And I just got confirmation today that Carol Brown will be joining us for the discussions as well.
And Dan and Helen both deserve your subscription. Please give them a sub. And I was just on Voice of Geekdom a couple of weeks ago, so please check that out.
And so,
Brian does a great Gollum, FYI.
I'm starting to think there's nothing that he doesn't do.
Honestly, there's not. There's not.
And for Christmas, we're doing the Muppets Christmas special. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Give Joe a sub. Oh my God, I'm so bad at this. There's a little thing in the corner where you can sub.
Yeah. Okay, Amy. So what do you got coming up?
Yes, I've got that discussion with Lo about colonialism and Orientalism in his Dark Materials. Then I've got that Lysonomar and that Cersei discussion coming up. And that's it for me for 2020. I can't do much more. But like I said, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I'm going to be on this guy's wonderful channel, Here Be Dragons, to talk all about myself, which is my favorite subject. So we're going to have a really great time. For I Know That Nerd, which is Steven's main thing. It's his thing.
And Steven, you and I got stuff coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow Nessie will be joining us as well, another regular co-host. We'll also be joined by Alicia Kingston, aka AK47, and Monaro from Monaro Geek TV to talk about Naomi Nagata from The Expanse.
Are you a fan, Steven?
A little bit.
Do you have a moment to talk about these? We're like evangelicals, but with The Expanse.
Have you heard the good news of our Lord and Savior?
The good
molecule? Anyway,
Amos's Space Daddy. Just saying.
And then Amy will be on.
Space Daddy.
You need to watch this show, Christina.
Christina, you would love The Expanse.
Good.
I keep hearing it.
Get
I know.
to it, Christina.
I know. Who wants to like guide
I'm
me
obsessed
through
with The
it?
Expanse. I'm so obsessed. It's so good.
Look, I'm here for it. I will help. And then Amy will be on the next week where we will do And I Know That Nerd with her, and we'll talk about Amy. And then the week after that will be maybe the first half of. We'll just take a look at the first half of this season of The Mandalorian, which has been really great so far. So,
Mando, he's a daddy. So I have. Sorry,
Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda.
I need to do I'm gonna get my own channel, and I will do I have this thing. It's called a ranking of It's just it's not a ranking. It's more of a status. You earn King Daddy status. There's not one King Daddy, but there are multiple King Daddies. Tywin Lannister is a King Daddy. Geralt of Rivia is a King Daddy. And Mando is obviously a King Daddy as well. So I stand King Daddies all the way. King Daddy. And I mean, I guess Jack is a King Bone Dad. He's Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy. Seriously, Christina, if you ever want to start
Canon.
your own channel, I'm there. Invite me on. Let's do it.
I know. I need to get like, because I love the term daddy, but it's like I feel like there's not like a female or well, wait, are you even supposed to say it? Like a
Mommy?
Like, I know, but
There's
it's like I
actually
feel
a
like
podcast
Not the same.
There's actually
it's
a
not
podcast
the same. Like I need something that's like just as like
Queens.
sexy as I guess
There's
like,
a podcast called Call Her Daddy. I
Bone
won't
Queen.
talk about it because it's rated R. But
Call
Her Daddy.
Just now, Kelly.
We're a little really. We've been thirsty this whole stream. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what? I had to go and get more wine and like a Randy Newman impression or something. Like got called in. Anyway.
I can say this, Christina. If you join the Slack and you're thinking about doing a channel, no, I'm sorry.
Like a King Daddy channel, like where I can rank my daddies. Like,
But no,
I don't know.
Yes, actually, we do have that.
Yeah, no.
No, I want to rank like the hottest video game characters. Like, come at me.
But like, if you're even considering like making your own content, we're gonna convince you. So so don't worry.
Kate is right in the chat, though. We're all going to horny jail, and I have a life. I have been declared that I have a life sentence according to a couple of the Slacks I'm in, and I'm fine with that. I will be in horny jail forever. What can I say?
I mean, we've already been sentenced. We're locked up.
So we might as well just enjoy our time, you know?
We literally have imported the go to horny jail dog bonk as a and as an emoji in our Slack group.
Bonk.
Oh shoot.
Go to horny.
I mean, it's like.
Anyway.
Okay, this can't possibly continue on in any
Is it me? Is it me? Is it me or is it us? I don't know because I'm
we spoke 3 hours about me and him, and Jared Jared spoke 3 hours about Kira. So trust me, we've gone.
Okay.
No,
I was like, it's me. I know. I was gonna say because I'm like I know that nerd. I was like, yo, we went off on like some weird places. Also,
I'm pretty sure
also
Steven and Steven are also going to go to some.
Yeah, I was going to say, Steven, we still have to play Skyrim together because, like, I don't know how to do that, but we need to, like, create a character together. And,
yes,
like,
Kelly is right in the chat. May the gods pervert us. I tried one time in the history of Westeros.
Hail Daddy.
I tried to say "May the gods preserve us," and my autocorrect changed it to "pervert us," and so that's how this started.
I said "Hail Daddy," but it was more of like it's more of a take on "Hail Sithis" than any other.
Yeah. Okay.
Hail Daddy.
Okay, so
Daddy.
we're gonna wrap things up here.
Anyway, yeah. Hi.
Thank you all for coming to watch, and I will see you all next week. And Stephen and I will see you along with Nessie on tomorrow's stream. So thank you, and thank you, Christina, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
All right, everyone, give your best Jack Skellington like.